Hey friends, I want to continue what we started last week, this sensitive yet important topic of the impact of pornography on our mental health. We already established that it kills intimacy and destroys empathy. Today I want to talk about another layer of this lie that people believe that when they view X-rated content, well, I'm not hurting anybody. That's a lie. I want to talk about another layer to that lie. You see, to understand it, why it's a lie, we want to think about it in terms of supply and demand. Economics, when there's a high demand, there's a call for the supply to be increased to meet that demand. In this case, the demand is those who have cravings to meet their fleshly desires, calling for content to be accessible, to be cheap, to be able to be accessed and to be abundant. Where does the supply come from to meet that demand? I want you to think about this. You ask a little girl what she wants to be when she grows up. She might say a princess or a ballerina. She gets older, she might pick somebody that she knows and wants to be maybe a more practical career path. You know what she's not going to say to that question? She's not going to say, when I grow up, I want to be an adult entertainer. And so for the supply to be increased to meet that demand, things like sexual abuse, things like human trafficking, that's the reality of this industry. Matter of fact, most, if not all people, especially young women who engage in that industry, have been exposed to some type of soul-destroying activity, some type of abuse, some type of distortion of what's true and right and good to cause them to choose that career path, or in some cases be forced into that career path. So when you're watching adult content, you're not just harming your soul. You're participating in an economy that thrives on the destruction of other souls. Now, if your empathy has been damaged to the point that that doesn't speak to you, I want to encourage you to find somebody that you can talk to try to restore, to try to rebuild some sense of empathy. If you're that far gone, you need to get help right away. And for some of you might say, you know what, I understand it's wrong, I know it's wrong, I know it's harmful, I know all this stuff, but I just can't stop. Find someone you can talk to. You're not supposed to walk this path alone, and none of us can. And you can find freedom, you can find hope. You can rebuild that empathy, and you can separate yourself from what Romans 6 describes as giving your members over as slaves to sin. You know, we see that verse that says the wages of sin is death. This comes in that context of people who are, of Paul calling people to stop giving themselves over to these soul destructive activities that are so destructive to so many people. The free gift of God is eternal life. And as you pick that life, you also make decisions to separate yourself from the economy of destruction. Stop giving yourself over to things that's destroying your soul, destroying other souls. Find help, find freedom. God bless you.
Thanks for joining us for this week's Mental Health Monday with Pastor Dan Harrison. Today's message is a strong reminder that the choices we make not only affect our own hearts, but can impact others in ways we may never see. Healing begins when we stop living in the shadows, take responsibility, and step into the light. If you're struggling, please don't face it alone. There is hope and there is freedom. Talk to someone you trust, seek help, and find a local church where you can grow and find support. And if you're near Ravenna, Ohio, we'd love to welcome you at Ravenna Assembly of God, where you'll find grace, truth, and a community ready to walk beside you. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow for more encouragement and practical insight from Pastor Dan. And don't forget, join us again next Monday for another Mental Health Monday.